Money feels unsafe. Here's why. And this is all about manifestation. So, when money feels unsafe, it has nothing to do with your strategy. It has everything to do with your identity, your money identity. If you're a creator, a business owner, you're building something real and you want to understand money and manifestation without the woo-woo, subscribe. This challenge is all about money identity, nervous system, and real world performance. So let's start with the problem, the money trigger. You say you want more money, but when you think about charging more, something inside of you tightens. And when money comes in, you don't relax. You feel pressure. If money feels heavy, your nervous system doesn't feel safe holding more. I'll share my personal story soon. If this was woo-woo, it was very different, but it is not. So let me say this. What I'm sharing with you, my learnings, what I'm sharing with you here, it's not mystical. This is not magical thinking. This is money identity. So for me, when I say manifestation, I am not thinking about or saying or meaning or referring to visualizing checks or saying affirmations. I tried that for many years, and I also learned that it was not solving my money issues. I still didn't feel safe around money. So for me, and what I'm sharing with you is that manifestation is who you are when money shows up. So I'm actually going to share a couple of things with you here. First of all, I'm sharing this in nearly every video now because it's so important to understand. I ended up in a $1.5 million debt. I'll say it again, $1.5 million debt. I solved it. I created a company with 60 people in it in a very tough business area, industry, but I did it. We doubled again and again and again. And I learned the strategies to this. Money came in and a person would say, okay, then it felt really good. And then you felt safe and free and all of this. But no, when I look back, yes, it felt good, but I didn't feel safe around the money. My system wasn't safe. My container here was not ready for the money. So money coming in, but I didn't feel safe internally. And then also with that, this pressure, I had this pressure all the time of not losing it again. And when I say not losing it, that could also be losing a client or a customer. And I remember how it felt. Still this day, I remember it. So I remember the $1.5 million debt, how that felt. I remember when I had quite some money in my account, how that felt. And I remember when I was doing really good with the company, but not safe in my body. So let me try to recall and share with you how it felt. And maybe you can feel inside yourself right now, just take a breath and feel inside of you, how does money feel for you? If you think about your business, if you're a business owner, How does money feel? Does money feel like stress? Does money feel like pressure? Just does money feel like you are afraid of losing customers? And what I'm sharing now is very much in the head. So let's go down to the body and just feel how it feels. So take a deep breath with me. I remember that when I was in the $1.5 million debt, I had so much tension and stress in my body. I was frustrated. I was desperate. I had so much guilt and shame inside of me because on the outside everything looked great. So I had one mask when people looked at me from the outside, but inside it was a burning hell. And I felt it in my stomach. I felt it in my jaws. They were so tight. I felt it here. I felt it in my chest. When I made the decision to solve the debt, and like I mentioned before, that decision, it created a spark of energy inside of me. It was kind of like I broke free from the guilt and shame because I had hope. When I was in that phase, many synchronicities showed up for me all the time, and I followed them. I took action. I still believe this day that this was the universe supporting me because I made the decision. When you decide something that you really want, the universe will help you, will bend reality to help you. I'm trying not to get sidetracked here, but the problem is, and was for me and many people, because I've done seminars for thousands of people and coached plus 100 high-level entrepreneurs, business owners. One day we say what we want, another day we say what we don't want, or we say we want something else. This kind of energy makes it very difficult for your reality to actually give you what you want. Because I want this, I want this, I want that, I want that. Like a little kid in the supermarket or in the toy store just wishing for everything, right? How can we make them happy? How can your reality, your universe, or God, whatever you want to call it, make you happy if all of those wishes are all there? Like I said, that was a little sidetrack. I was clear when I made my decision what I wanted. I wanted to pay off the debt. I wanted to create a company that grew. And I was on a path that was clear, and I had so much energy. But the fact is, if I look back and when I'm honest with myself about this, I also remember the feeling of the uncertainty, the fear of losing a customer, the fear of losing one of the great people in my team, but mostly the customer. And the customer, I say this because that was connected with the money. So for this video, and I felt that in my stomach. So I had this, that if I saw an email from a customer, I felt this pinch in my stomach. It tightened and I had this like small ball inside or something like that. It was like it was pinching inside. Maybe you know what I'm speaking about. And also when I did coaching, sometimes I had the same thing. And I didn't understand these things. I learned the strategies, I learned the mindset, so I could build the businesses. I did a 50K a month coaching business, and it ran great. It did good. I learned the strategies, I implemented them. But looking back, I didn't know about money identity. I didn't know about safety as me, as my identity. Feeling safe. I didn't know about these things that I'm sharing with you now. So I ended up, like I said, with many money in the account. But what happened there was I was afraid of losing the money. I was afraid, instead of having a clear vision of the next big thing for me, some kind of fear overruled the vision and got me looking into the dark direction. I know today that came from a fear of losing it all, a fear of not being good enough. And I felt that also in my body and in my stomach, especially the stomach, sometimes in the chest, especially the stomach. I've learned, and what I'm sharing with you here, is that if we can think so much, we can do so much, but if your system is not safe, if your system is not feeling good, and most people are not aware about these things because we're so busy. We didn't learn how to feel, how do I feel? And this brings me into what is money identity? So, and I'll keep this simple. Money identity equals the amount of money your nervous system feels normal with. I learned from a mentor of mine back in 2012, and I know where this origin from now, but like he was speaking about money being like a thermostat. So you have an outdoor temperature that might go higher or lower, but you have indoor, you'll set it at a certain degrees, and that thermostat will just make sure that the temperature indoor is the same, whether the temperature outdoor goes up or down. This will be adjusted. And that's kind of the money level, money mindset, but I'll go deeper now, money identity. Because if your system feels safe with, I'm just saying, 5K a month, 10K a month, and your mind says, I want to do 50K a month, like the temperature outside, but your system is here. So if you try to adjust and work harder and do different things, that for your identity will just keep you here. And how do you know that? You know it because you watch your results. And you know it because if you get more, it doesn't feel safe for you. And again, most people are not aware how they feel. So again, this is not about what you desire. This is about what feels normal for your system. Not this one, but your whole system. So again, if 5K, let's say that, feels safe for you, your system will resist 20K. When I had the properties before it went down, the whole thing, I had around, what's that in US dollars? Maybe dollars. That's kind of an amount. And I wasn't aware about what I'm sharing with you here, so I didn't really know how to look inside, to feel this. And if I had felt safe with all of this, I could have handled it. I had found a solution, but I didn't feel safe. So when the bank came to me, I felt unsafe. I felt insecure. And I did what the bank asked me to not be closed. Makes sense? And again, this is manifestation in practice. It's not woo-woo, it's biology and it's identity. So why does money feel unsafe? Some of the things, because again, I use this is a bigger one. See, this is from my country, paper. And that's what it is, right? It's paper. But if we look to it, if we run a business, then more money means more visibility, more responsibility, more exposure, and judgment, right? I have a channel where I'm sharing my inner truth here. And I've done it before. When I did the coaching funnel, I did commercials, ads. And I remember if someone said something that wasn't nice, I felt that in my stomach again. And my system was about to freeze or run away. So judgment, right? The bigger we get, the more we'll be judged. Look at anyone who is doing good on YouTube or in the physical world, or any, they're judged. Some like them, some doesn't like them. People have a lot of opinions around them. So we will, if we grow, we will be judged. And if your identity is survival based, more money will feel like a threat. And no one likes the feeling of a threat. And the response will be, we know this old one, freeze or fight or flight, right? So either we will freeze, so we don't do anything at all, or we will just find an escape so we don't come close to this threat that our system is feeling danger because you're about to expose yourself danger. And like I did at that time, my mind tricked me into don't go that way. So more money will feel like a threat. So which means that maybe you can relate to some of these things that I've seen again and again. And this goes for business owners, it goes for creators, it goes for school owners too. We delay launches. We have an idea, but we find a way to delay it. Something is calling, but we find a way to delay it. We undercharge. I remember a client I had, a business owner some years ago. He had an electrician company. He had like 20 people in his company, and he was doing good on the outside. He had a lot of customers and things like that. He had wanted for so many years to shift all of his smaller private customers and get into some bigger customers in business. But he was so afraid. He did that when I coached him within the first month, and 3 months after I think he had run his business for 20 years. He got his biggest customer within those 3 months after making the decision. And they even gave him an award in our country here for his growth. But if our system is not ready for these things, we'll delay it, undercharge, and also burn out. And this is what happens to so many business owners. We run and we run fast and we want to succeed and we'll push and we pride ourselves in the hustle and the grind. I did too, which leads to burnout. We can hustle and grind when things are going great, but if the results are not showing up, if we cannot pay the bills, we'll burn out. Maybe you know someone who has been in this phase of his or her life. So, well, you just push too hard, right? The shift here, my shift, it wasn't strategy. It was learning to feel safe in my system, in my body. Learning to slow down. Learning to regulate my system and operate from abundance, from safety. Testing what you want works when your nervous system is safe, when your identity grows to where and what you want. If you are scaling, if you're building, more money requires a bigger self-concept. Not here. A regulated system and less pressure. Money grows in safety, not in panic. If this resonates, and if you're serious about upgrading your money identity and how you can manifest income, I run a community. It's a free community called Manifestation. And right now there's a 7-day challenge in there, a manifestation reset. And soon I will launch a 7-day money identity expansion inside the community. This is helping with the things that I'm talking about in this video. It's for creators, it's for business owners, it's for school owners who want to manifest money, but also for money to feel light again. The link is below this video. This is manifestation, but grounded in identity and nervous system, not just fantasy. See you in the next one.